I'm announcing the issuance of an aggressive and unyielding arrest warrant for a vile and despicable individual. His name is Pauly. Pauly has just launched the largest scam token in the history of the world, defrauding millions of Americans. And to make matters worse, my son Barron threw in 3 ETH at launch. They are now worth a total of $0.001, but luckily for him, he got a big fat bag of MOG coin. The ticker is MOG. If you got scammed by Pauly, go get yourself a big fat bag of MOG. And let's MOG Pauly on the timeline.
So crypto Twitter has not been scammed just once, but twice by this man now, Pauly0x, a serial scammer at this point, and someone who's even being sued by Lava Labs, the creator of Not Lava Labs, created CryptoFunks, and seemingly finds it hilarious that he keeps rugging people of their funds. So let's look at his recent shenanigans here over the last 24 hours. Pretty ridiculous stuff. Darwinism at its finest, I would suggest. Survival of the fittest, and if you are sending your money to idiots like this, you kind of deserve to get rugged, is my take. So here's what happened. Yesterday, he created a token. The ticker was unironically PNDX. PND stands for pump and dump typically. PNDX, and it was Pond-X token. Now within this flawed contract, there was a direct transfer function, as you can see typed here. This means you can take another person's tokens and sell them if you wish. So within the contract here, under point 7, you could go to the from address and type in someone else's wallet who's just made a purchase, and then key in your address into this line here, write the contract, and then the tokens from this address would end up in yours. So you could watch someone ape in and then just rug their tokens off them. So a load of degenerates were doing this, and people were up in arms saying, why the heck are my tokens leaving my wallets? But it was strange, not like other rugs when people have malicious software or click dodgy links where it just drains your whole wallet. It was just this Pond-X token that was going. So this was the source of this. This is a stupid contract to deploy, and now he's trying to claim that all along this was just a big joke, which is pretty crazy stuff. This guy is actually doxed. Beeple's even created a turd artwork of him today. And if we just go down here, let me be clear of something he says, and he puts the I'd like to apologize to absolutely nobody Conor McGregor famous quote in here. I don't give a shit if this slows down progress or anything. It is what it is. So it sounds like he still wants to deploy whatever this bullshit is. But people just can't stop sending their funds to these serial scammers. This guy is literally gloating down here. It was a scam and you fell for it, with a picture of himself as per the thumbnail. Crazy times. So this, of course, was not the first time Pauly has produced some form of scam. And what I can't get over is he is doxxed, and yet he lives in a country where they have the right to bear arms, and you're pulling off scams like this. This sounds pretty bad. And if you saw the actual news from last week, some Spanish crypto guy ended up dead in a suitcase. Well, if you keep playing crazy tricks like this, I would not want to be this guy, a doxxed person pulling off these crazy stunts. Send ETH here. Back on the 30th of May, he notoriously just posted an ETH wallet, and then people started to ape into the wallet, and he was like, you're not getting anything back. And the actual wallet address itself was yougetnothing.eth. 7 minutes in, $76 came. And then the funds just started rolling in and rolling in. This is the current state of the yougetnothing.eth wallet, that famous wallet from the 30th of May. It now holds $1.6 million worth of tokens, 1.2 mil in Pepe, and roughly 400k in staked Ether. So as I say, if you are sending funds to influencers online like this, and can you even call him an influencer? Well, he does have 153,000 idiots following him, but this does not seem to be a positive influence in any shape or form. All he has to do now, which he probably won't, is just convert all of this into Ethereum staking nodes and go and live out his life on a Caribbean island, and he'll never have to do an ounce of work ever again. So here is the chart of Pond-X, or Pump and Dump X. Fully diluted valuation currently 2.9k, and a whopping 13 grand in liquidity left in there. That chart not exactly painting the Sistine Chapel there. Now off the back of this, we saw some crazy gas fees yesterday on ETH mainnet as a result of people trying to ape into this shitcoin. Max Gwei yesterday was 420. Big up all the stoners out there. And this sent the cost to actually make transactions almost up to $100 here, as Ansem screenshotted here. Estimated gas fee on mainnet yesterday, whilst this whole shenanigans was going down, $96.81, which is pretty crazy, because if you imagine ETH going like to say somewhere in the region of 6K this next cycle, and with more people actually utilizing the network, gas costs are going to be like $400-500. This really is not usable and not noob friendly whatsoever. So as he pointed out here, look at me with a straight face and tell me Solana is not going back to all-time highs. You literally can't. So this is a very good marketing campaign for Sol. The fact that ETH is unusable if there's ever a slight spike in user activities. Lots of people still on the Solana is dead train as well, which is pretty interesting. Sisyphus actually posted this saying that, look, all these tokens are actually leaving Sol to get the liquidity on ETH. YOLO NOLO is one of these. The token itself migrated over to Ethereum, has done very well off the back of that, but the actual protocol still sells to Sol mainnet. Same here with the chart here, which is Aurora. And as you can see, they launched the token on ETH and it went skywards rather quickly. So on the one hand, you have people saying Sol's dead. ETH is the only place that there is organic interactions and actual liquidity, which is a fair point. But when we look forward to new entrants into the market, a new bull market, how can you honestly say people are going to start using ETH mainnet? They really can't afford to. So to be honest with you, I think the Solana ecosystem and Solana itself does very well this cycle off the fact that people are going to go where they're treated best. New people will go where they can actually transact. You buy $10 worth of Sol for gas, you've got your transactions covered for 6 months, 12 months, I don't know. It literally is sub 1 cent transaction fees on Solana. And as you can see, the chain is down around 90% from the all-time highs there. So I still think this is a very much contrarian bet. It's pretty much only Ansem on crypto Twitter who is cheerleading for the project at this point in time, and a lot of the ETH maxis are still trying to pound on Sol, but most of those are already rich. Maybe ICO investors or people who have made a small fortune on Ethereum itself, they have loads of money, so they can afford $90, $100 for a transaction. But looking forward to the future, we want to see where the money may flow. And I think that's going to be Sol. Now, I also spotted this pretty epic thread to round off the week here. It was actually 5 threads of alpha all combined into this. Let's just give you the quick TLDR, and I'll leave this in the description down below if you want to have a read through all the specific threads themselves. So the first one is the end of the DeFi bear market. So famously, DJ Spartan tweeted this back in 2020 when DeFi summer had ended in 2020. He said, look, DeFi bear market progress, 3 months in out of 36, and the 36th month here is July, hence the end of the DeFi bear market for DeFi 1.0 should be the 1st of August 2023, just coming up this week. DJ Spartan is often very correct with his calls, and people are suggesting, look, there may be a bit of a renaissance here for DeFi, and crypto more broadly starts to move on these kind of 3-4 year cycle bases. So what if we do start to see DeFi picking up here yet again coming this next month? Would make a little bit of sense with what we've seen with these kind of frictionless protocols, Unibot, etc. launching. I think this is something to keep your eyes upon. Second, there's a Sol bull thread in this saying why Solana's TVL is about to go up. This goes into the fact that LSTs are actually starting to pick up some volume. So an LST of Solana, maybe GTO-Sol, MSOL, or others, these are starting to get a bit more traction here, and this will see TVL boosted on Solana mainnet. And then people can start to use these in some of the new tokens coming online. We mentioned this in an earlier video last week. Solana ecosystem, well worth trying to farm some of these airdrops, MarginFi, Cypher, Zeta, etc. And a load of these could spark a bit of a Solana summer here with people getting liquidity from the underlying LSTs and then deploying it into these areas and then getting the airdrops as well. So there could be a money flow in this. And I would specifically say go and use MarginFi, as the amount of traction that is getting right now is pretty ridiculous, and there seems to be a lot of opportunities that are being overlooked by the wider market. So say you get an airdrop for a protocol with a fully diluted valuation of like 10-20 mil, but there's less participants getting involved with the airdrop, well, you could get a handsome sum from that. The third thread is all about arbitrage trading from the calculator guy Steven. Well worth a read if you are into that kind of thing. It is not my cup of tea particularly, but it is a good thread nonetheless, so check that out down below. On-chain derivatives analysis, we've also got some of the PE ratios and whatnot within this DeFi made here thread. TLDR that I got from this was GMX is the daddy. There's like 70 protocols or so plugging into GMX in one shape or form, and it looks on track to be an absolute DeFi blue chip and the renaissance of this real yield to the stakers. So being part of these underlying networks, a very important thing, and that's a key token economic shift that has been pushed by GMX and now being copied by many others, which will be very beneficial for investors in these ecosystems. And then the fifth thread was to do with coin, and that is Coinbase to a 1 trill market cap. If you are bullish on Coinbase, check out Ishan B's thread down here. It is a rather intriguing one and does put forward a very good case for a 1 trillion market cap for coin. A bit too bullish in my opinion, but nonetheless well worth a flick through. All these threads in the description down below. A bit of alpha here for optimism. So Coinbase's new chain built on the OP stack called Base had a spike in contracts deployed on my DevNet earlier this week. So this is saying that potentially we're going to see Base launching sooner rather than later. And if we check in with the optimism chart, it is screaming that it wants to go higher. There is a token unlock coming tomorrow on Sunday for optimism. It's not a huge amount though, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. But if there is a dip on OP, I think this is a very good L2 play, especially with EIP 4844 also coming towards the end of this year as well. Then I picked this up from Captain Rational here. He says they will spread moisturization to the world, i.e. more liquidity. White House, US, Japan, and South Korea to hold a summit on August 18th at Camp David. We've also got the potentiality of an ETF filing for Bitcoin being given either the green light or the red light in this month of August as well. So very exciting. And we've got Bitcoin here pretty much just chopping sideways continually at the low 29s. Crown's analysis on this was the longer that we actually just hold position here, the more likely we get a bit of a reset. And this could well be a bit of a bear trap here with people expecting the obvious for us to go down, but it may well shock them and push higher. Then last chart of the day here, the S&P 500. If you just look at this, it is continuing to chat up and make us really seethe from these sidelines here. It is only 4% off its all-time high on a candle body to candle body basis there. 18 months ago, the all-time high was printed, and it looks like it's making a V-shaped recovery there. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, drop me a comment down below. See you in the next one. Peace.